Hi guys, we're going to continue with the Pythagorean Theorem, and in these cases sometimes you're going to have to draw a picture. So if you're drawing a picture, I'm going to give you some examples of what this might look like with pictures already drawn. So making sure you understand that these are 90-degree angles. Okay, so again, sometimes you're going to have to draw your own. So the Pythagorean theorem can be used to solve a variety of problems. It is helpful to use a diagram to determine what part of the right triangle is unknown. So here you can see we don't know this. So that is our height. And since this is the right angle here, I can make it bigger. We know that this is a leg because across from this right angle is your hypotenuse, which is a C. So again, it doesn't matter if this is your A or your B. Okay, so let's go ahead and try it. So 6.2 in parentheses squared plus B squared equals 7.5 squared. So let's go ahead and solve it. So in parentheses, 6.2 squared, 3844, plus b squared, which we don't know, equals parentheses 7.5 squared is 56.25. I'm solving for b squared, so I'm going to subtract this. So b squared is equal to, subtract that, 38.44, 1781. I can't have a b squared, so I'm going to have to take the square root of 17.81. Let's see if we can get it. Square root 17.81. And this one, we can either leave it like that, or we're going to round it to the nearest tenth, so we're going to say 4.2. So either one of those. Okay. This one, let's take a look at this one. If we look here, we have a leg. We have a leg, and we're trying to find that hypotenuse. So let's label this A, B, C. So usually on this first one, I'm going to tell you, they'll say that you have a tree and they have a shadow. So you draw that and it says, so we're going to try to find that height. This one, they usually say you have a building and the ladder is standing 5 feet from the end of the building. How tall is my ladder? So those are the types of questions, and you would have to draw this. Okay, so my A is 5, my B is 12, my C is unknown. And I always use c squared, even though it says x. So 5 squared plus 12 squared equals 169 equals c squared. The square root of 169, I think it's 13, but let me double check. And it is. C equals 13. So you just get the hang of it. It's not too bad. Let's keep going. Oh, good. So here's one where you have to draw it. So you have a ladder that is 17 feet long. So my ladder, here's my ladder. And it is 17 feet long. It's against a wall. The bottom of the ladder, so from bottom of here, is 6 feet from the base of the wall to here is 8 feet. How tall is the wall? That wasn't so bad, right? We know this is a right angle, so we can use the Pythagorean theorem. So this is an A, this is a B, this is a C. Why is that my C? Because it is across from that right triangle. My geometry kids still mess this up, so don't feel bad if you make some mistakes along the way. So I'm going to say 8 squared plus b squared equals 17 squared. And solve that. I do know that's 64. I don't know this one by heart. 289. Subtract 64. B squared is equal to 225 square root of 225. I think it's 15, but I'm not sure. So 225 is 15. So that is how tall that wall is. All right, let's try another one. This is another weirdo. So here's the top part of a circus tent. It is in the shape of a cone, and the tent has a radius of 50 feet. The distance from the top of the tent to the edge is 6 feet. So it's already, 61 feet. So it's already labeled. How tall is the top part of the tent? So they're trying to find from here to here. So you're trying to find the sky. So let's say A, B, C. It's a right triangle. So my hypotenuse is across from it. Okay, so A squared plus 50 squared equals 61 squared. A squared plus, I think that's 2,500. 50 squared equals 61 squared, 3721. We're using algebra, obviously. Subtract 2,500 from both sides. So A squared is equal to 1221. A is equal to the square root of 1221. Don't forget that square root part. And that equals 34.9. And this, either one of those could be the correct answer. Okay. This is to round to the nearest whole, and I didn't do that. So if I did, this would have been 35. I'll change that. I wasn't reading directions. We'll include that little guy. Okay, so find the distance on a coordinate plane using the Pythagorean Theorem. So you're going to graph the points, then draw a right triangle, and your right triangle might look different, with C as the hypotenuse. Okay, so let me graph these 2 points, and you'll see this really easily. So 1, 1, 2, 3. -2, 4. Okay, so to make it, it's kind of like rise and run or something like that. So we're going to go that way. I went down 1 over 3. Okay, now I'm going to label this A, B, C, right? This is my right angle. Okay, how much is my A? 1 squared. How much is my B? 3 squared. We do not know my C because it's a diagonal, so that's why we use the Pythagorean Theorem. So 1 squared is 1, 3 squared is 9. So 10 is equal to C squared. Square root of 10 equals C. And what is the square root of 10? Oops. 3.2. And we're just going to leave it like either one of those answers. This one is more exact. This one is rounded. Let's try this again. You will have to do this on today's lesson, so just FYI. Okay, so 1, 5. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay. I'm going down, over, just like that. So here's my right angle. This is my A, this is my B. If I count my A, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 squared plus 2 squared equals C squared. So that's 1, 2. So 4 squared is 16. 2 squared is 4. So 20 equals C squared. Square root of 20 equals C. And what is the square root of 20? It's 4 point something. 4.5 if we round it. Okay, let's see what's on this other page. I think we're good. I think that's it. I don't even think we're going to use this last page, so don't even worry about that. Good, 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 good.